I'm Trio. Welcome to You've Got This, Sis. I believe there are times we need a sis to see us for who we are, where we are, exactly how we are, and then see all that we can be. The sis that can do that with each of us is a real treasure. I've had my moments, sis. I realize that our connections to one another are absolutely gold. I know there are times that we journey solo, and there are times we journey with others. Both are completely necessary for our growth and increased strength as women. You are here with me, and I am here with you. And we will journey wherever you are now to your best self, always. Welcome to You've Got This, Sis. Hello, and welcome to You've Got This, Sis. Another week is in the books, and you guys, we are rocking it. I know, I would prefer the snow to wait until Thanksgiving, but it came before Halloween. You guys, it's Halloween week. I know that some of us don't celebrate Halloween, and that is okay, but I do feel like it's the kickoff to the holiday season, and I feel like sometimes we might be in a slump. And whether you're a new mama or you're just in the mix of COVID, there might be some slump going on. And I want to encourage you to make this fun for yourself and your family in any way that you think is fun. For me, when the kids were little, I would get them all dressed in costumes, and I would freshen up my makeup and wear something cute, not a costume, but just cute clothes. Warm because it was freezing, and then we would go out trick-or-treating when my husband got home. As they got older, I could take a little bit more time on myself, and so I would look for the cute little tattoos that I could put around my eyes and just wear fun makeup and maybe do my hair and put these cute tattoos on, like spider webs, things like that. I usually always find them at Michael's, but that helped me feel like I was being festive without going crazy overboard, because we also didn't have a lot of money in those days. And honestly, I love dressing up, but I never once had a store-bought costume when I was little. And I guess I give that to my kids now, but I don't necessarily do that for myself. And so I encourage you, if you're able to look through your closet and put together something that would be fun and creative and add a fun little wig or some great makeup to it, do it. That's what I'm doing this year. This is my idea. We'll see if it comes to fruition, but I'm going to be a modern day Snow White, and my husband's going to be my modern day Prince Charming. And those costumes are pretty much coming from my closet with things that I already have. And I bought like an accessory and a wig, and the rest I'm going to just throw together, because we have more fun when we do that than when we don't, and it's a little bit more fun for our kids. And really, I'm just trying to make memories here so that they can remember 2020 as an amazing year instead of a time of crazy different. So just putting a plug out there to make it you in whatever way you can, and make it a little bit more fun just by taking a few extra minutes of intentionality and doing what you can with what you have. You got this. I realize and recognize that some of you are new here with me on You've Got This, Sis, so I want to take a minute to introduce myself. I'm Trio Springer. I am the third girl in my family, hence the name Trio. I am not musically inclined. I do not have sisters with the name of solo and duet, although sometimes I do tell people that because they think my name is a little bit funny and a bit of a joke, so I do play along. But I'm the third girl in my family, the last of 6 kids. We have settled in the Midwest and are really just enjoying raising our family here. I have 4 boys. I'm the mama of 4 boys. No girls. I definitely know that God knows what he was doing when he gave me all boys, and I'm very grateful for that. I do not ever really say, oh yeah, I wish we had a girl. My husband sometimes wishes that, but I think that's because he has this fantasy of what it would be like to have a little girl, until he maybe thinks about the teenage years. But I am very fulfilled with exactly what I have, and I cannot be more really content with where I am. I am a nurse. I am in the middle of getting my doctorate as a nurse practitioner, but I have many interests, as you guys will see on both Instagram and Facebook, on You've Got the Sis. I have many interests, and so I feel like I am a complex individual, as are each of you. And I don't think that we need to keep ourselves from growing or learning or discovering new talents because maybe I'm just a nurse, or maybe I'm a mama of 4 boys, right? There's so many different categories that we might put ourselves into that might create some limitations for us. But I try to be very open in my mind about my own experiences and my own growth, as well as helping you discover yours. I did not do nursing school before I had kids, guys. I actually did nursing school with 4 boys in school. And so when I started school, my youngest was 2. And by the time I finished, he had started kindergarten. So I get what it's like to manage time, to be there, and to work your butt off. I totally get it, and I hear you. I have pulled the overnight shifts in the hospital. I have welcomed babies into this world, and I have been there when people have passed on to the next life. I feel very blessed to have all of these different experiences. They have created a very well-rounded me. I am not a person that is quick to judge. I feel like I'm a very patient person. I also love dancing and riding horses. That's what I grew up doing as a little girl. And recently I have been able to take up those hobbies again. Most recently, of course, horseback riding. The dancing, I did ballet for a number of years. Love it. Fell in love with the Nutcracker at 10 years old. And from that point on, just had a dream of being a dancer. Long story short, that dream allowed me to be in all the right places to meet my husband. And so I, again, am not someone who believes in coincidences. Things happen for reasons, and even when they are difficult, things that occur, things that break our heart, things that cause us to cry and have anxiety, I've been there. I know what that's like. And on the other side of it has always been a new opportunity to learn and to grow. Speaking of learning and growing, I am going to focus the next few minutes and highlight a story on breast cancer. I am the granddaughter of a lady, of Mary Virginia White, who lost her life to breast cancer. I did not know her, but I have heard stories of her from my dad and my aunts, and I have a very, very fond place for her in my heart. And her story is one that has many, many different segments. She was the second wife of my grandfather, who again I didn't know, but he was an alcoholic and worked as a painter and carpenter in New England. They married and they had 5 children, 3 of which were grown and lived into adulthood. My dad and his sister are still alive. My aunt passed away just a few years ago when she was having a sleep study done. But this grandmother of mine that I do not know and who courageously battled breast cancer for several months and years. She was a woman, a very, very hardy, as in she was solid in her desires to be a good mother, to be a good woman, and to impact those around her. She was one of 14 children, and I have met her sisters, Madeline and Gertrude, they were some of the youngest in the family. During her lifetime, my grandmother, Mary Virginia, actually, like I said, she had 5 children. 2 of those children lost their life. One was stillborn, and the other was hit by a car when he was 2. The strange thing about this is that Mary had been home from the hospital just a few days, really. She was recovering. She was on bed rest after having her stillborn baby Pamela. And so that was sad in itself that she had lost this baby. She was recovering. She was, I'm sure, brokenhearted, really grieving. And the first day that she had gotten up from bed rest, she allowed my dad and his brother, Jackie, she sat on the porch and watched them play outside. Then she had to use the bathroom, which is something that would be very normal for all of us moms, for anybody, that might be watching kids and be like, oh yeah, I need to use the bathroom. So she went inside to use the bathroom. And by the time she came back, Jackie, who was 2 and was playing with my dad, who was just a few years older, had been hit by a semi-truck. So within days of coming home from the hospital and losing her baby girl, she then lost her 2-year-old little boy and buried 2 children within a very short time period. My dad grew up with his sisters, Judy and Linda, in New England. And when he was 16, his mother, Mary, died from breast cancer. So she had been sick for a few years of his teenage life. And he gathered up his sisters, and they packed up their suitcases, and he left with them because he didn't feel safe at home, and he didn't want to leave them at home with his alcoholic father. They left, and they found solitude within some of the homes of the community members until one family took in my dad and Judy. They were, of course, teenagers, so a little bit more going on with them in their life than a cute little baby girl or, maybe an 8-year-old, Linda. And so Linda went and stayed with another family who took her in. But Dad and Judy were not necessarily highly sought after. They ended up staying with a lady by the name of Mrs. McGinnis, who became another mother for my father. And this are the repercussions of breast cancer in the 1950s. And I'm sure it's the repercussions of some lives today. My dad was very much on his own. He was very independent, as were his sisters. Once he finished high school, he enlisted in the military. You guys, I share this with you because I'm the granddaughter of Mary, who lost her life to breast cancer. She had a double mastectomy and was trying to salvage what she could of her life and be there for her children. And it just didn't work out the way that she had hoped. I honor her. I honor her memory. I honor my father, who grew up way too fast. Although life can be hard and it has a lot of unexpected events that occur, I recognize them and I honor them for all that they have done and all that they have been through. Moving on into November, it is Diabetes Awareness Month, and I thought it would be a really great thing I got really excited, you guys, because when I was working out at the gym, I had this idea. And my idea was that behind every strong woman, there is some sort of strong support system. I know this for myself, as my husband was that for me and has been that for me for the past 20 years. And I feel that that is true for other women. I would not say it's true across the board. I know that there are some men who do not respect women, who do not lift them. And I would say the same for other women. But again, this is a place where we lift each other. And so I am going to focus on November being tributed to amazing men who are there for our sisters. And so I'm going to highlight what some of those relationships look like, what these men do to offer support and love in a way that helps their women, their wife, fly and really be successful in this life and in the pursuits that she has. So I invite you to tune in to share this as we go through November with those that you think could benefit from it, or share it with your husband or share it with your sons. My goal is that we can focus on things that are good, that maybe our world needs a little bit more of. And as we do that, our lives and our reach and all that we hold dear will just continue to get better. Thanks for being here, and I will see you next week. You got this, sis. Thank you for being here with me today. I hope that you have an amazing day and week. Until next time, sis, be sure to remember that you've got this. Also, go on and check out ygtsis.com. There you can find out what we're up to, podcasts, YouTube videos, and even the shop. Don't worry, it's a great place to be. It's a little bit of unwinding. It's a whole lot of real, and it's exactly what you need. Go check it out, ygtsis.com.